Welcome, audience and Stephanie, to the first in a 3-part series that I'm not sure what to name yet. It's a TBR challenge inspired by the curriculum reading trend. Basically, we have so many books that intersect in one way or another, I thought it'd be fun to examine a small selection and learn everything we can.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sure. Intersectionality. I like it.
Exactly. But this isn't like a nonfiction type of thing. I mean, it sort of is because we have a lot of nonfiction on our TBR, but it's any book.
Okay. So like we can mix and match. Like some will be nonfiction and some will be fiction.
Well, no, you're not picking. I've decided to make a wheel.
Oh. Okay.
I'll show you how it works. So first, I made a list of every single book on our current TBR.
Uh-huh.
Wait, do you want to guess?
How many books we have on our TBR?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess like 112.
No, surprisingly less.
What?
93.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, that's manageable.
It's a lot, but
Uh-huh.
yeah. Then I had a number generator pick 5.
Okay. What, 5?
But those 5 aren't technically what we're spinning for.
Wait. Okay.
I looked at each book in turn and then I jotted down their supposed main themes. Using these themes, I picked 3 more books from our TBR with similar descriptions.
3 more books.
These have become the 5 slots on the wheel that will decide our next reads.
Okay, 5 books and then 3 books and then 5 slots. Uh-huh. Math.
Yeah, so each slot has 4 books.
Okay.
2 for you, 2 for me.
Okay.
But that's not just the reading challenge. After this wheel decides our fate, we will reconvene and give a review on what we've read, making sure to note what sparks our curiosity, because then we're going on a field trip.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna take the things we've read and try to find some real world hands-on learning to bring home everything, you know?
A field trip based on the books we've read.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, a little outing. I'm not opposed.
Good. Are you ready for me to tell you the themes we might be studying?
Yeah, okay. So these are the themes on the 5-slot wheel.
Yeah.
That correspond to the 4 books that you picked through some other process.
Explain the process.
I don't understand it. So there's themes on the wheel that correspond to 4 books, 2 for each of us.
Yes.
Okay, what are the themes?
Humanity.
Okay.
I had to go broad with some of these.
Humanity. There's a lot of assets of humanity, but all right.
What also was underneath that was capitalism, rebellion, storytelling, mercy, and science. Humanity.
Okay.
Any guesses as to what those 4 books could have been?
Oh man. Capitalism. What were the other ones?
Rebellion, storytelling, mercy, and science.
On our TBR? I don't even remember what's on our TBR. No, I have no clue.
Next category, art and grief.
Art and grief. Why art and grief?
It'll make sense later. Next category, political theater.
Political theater.
I'll tell you, this one has nonfiction and fiction in it.
Okay.
The last 2 are feminism and trans resistance.
All right. That one feels cohesive. Yeah.
Is there any genre you're hoping to get?
Art and grief sounded cool.
Well, let's spin the wheel.
Okay.
It's art and grief.
Art and grief. Yay.
Hey, this is a good one.
All right.
The cornerstone pick for this one was Nightmares in the Dream Sanctuary, which explores themes of war, artistic expression, soldiers, PTSD, and the importance of bearing witness. Do you want to hear your 2 books or my 2 books first?
Wait, what do you mean cornerstone pick?
Girl, I explained it.
Oh, okay, never mind. I want to hear my books.
All right. Nightmares in the Dream Sanctuary. This is a nonfiction book by Donna Kornhaber that follows one art professor's examination of war and animated films from around the world.
Hell yeah.
You've also got Don't Call Us Dead. This is a poetry collection by Dana Smith about racism, police brutality, and homophobia experienced by Black men in America.
Dana Smith?
Dana's Smith. Mine are Ganbare, Workshops on Dying by journalist Katrina Boni, hope I'm pronouncing that right, who travels through Japan collecting stories from survivors of a massive tsunami that happened there in 2011 and examines how those left behind learn to grieve. My second book was Their Eyes Were Watching God, a classic by Zora Neale Hurston that follows the story of Janie and her love life. I've heard this is kind of romantic but sad too, so I'm scared but excited.
All right, yeah, I'm excited to read these.
You want to hear what the other genres could have been?
Yeah, what books did you pick for these other themes?
Yeah. Feminism was Hood Feminism, Conflict is Not Abuse, They Were Her Property, and She Who Struggles.
Okay, yeah.
Transresistance was The Transgender Issue, Hell Followed With Us, It Was Vulgar and It Was Beautiful, and Whipping Girl.
Right.
Political theater was Dark Money, Working on a Song, The Jakarta Method, and the Star Wars prequel trilogy.
Oh, Jesus. That's a whopper.
The humanities slot included the books All Systems Red, Bottoms Up and the Devil Laughs, The Social Instinct, and The Peregrine.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lots of good books.
Lots of good books. Interesting how you found the connection between them.
Right?
Yeah, okay. Method behind the madness. I don't know if I see it yet, but all right.
We'll see you back here for a review of these books and what exactly ignites our curiosity.
Hell yeah.
We've finished our books. Now it's time for the review. I think I'll go first reviewing and rating each of mine and then revealing the field trip idea, and then you'll do the same. Their Eyes Were Watching God. I listened to the first half of this book on audiobook from Libby, and I'm glad I did. First, because the book is written in this old-timey vernacular that just made more sense when I heard it rather than reading it, and because I listened to it while I was walking most of the time, and it really enhanced the experience. Because this book really loves a nature-filled prose. At first I was worried that this wouldn't really fit into the art and grief theme, but the story actually begins with the main character's grandmother telling her, Janie, the tragic story of what happened to her mother, and then moves into Janie telling the story of her life and what happened to her partners. So immediately this fit the bill, right? These characters are telling their story as a way to process and share their grief, which, spoilers I guess, but this book is a tragedy. I really loved the poetic writing, the nature allegories, and the characters all felt extremely real, especially Janie, the main character. You really root for her, and I wanted her to live her life happily. This made me more curious about the 30s time period it was set in. I was trying to remember what else was happening in America then, and it made me curious about the author and when it was written, because it felt very feminist for such an old book. Their Eyes Were Watching God examines love, freedom, power, and grief, and I highly recommend picking it up or listening to it. My second book was Ganbare, Workshops on Dying. Ganbare is a collection of interviews, anecdotes, folktales, and even government documents centered around the 2011 tsunami and subsequent nuclear disaster that devastated Japan. Katrina Boni takes the reader through every horrifying detail and the real impacts, not just on the landscape, but the people and how they learn to grieve. This book hit me hard. It took a long time to finish. Even though each chapter is pretty short, you really have to sit with each one. The writing is great, the stories are gripping. I especially loved Dictionary of Prohibited Words, where one man translates his own story of the tsunami into hundreds of languages, but he can't put it into his own native one. And Disappointment, a therapist's perspective on the aftermath. How wonderful the first stages of recovery and rebuilding are, but after that, how do you go back to your life before? Survival, Bonds, Acceptance, Disappointment. It just feels a little too familiar. With COVID and then everything that the US government is doing now, just feels like we've sped run all those stages over and over again. Definitely pick this up if you're interested at all about processing grief and dying. This book is so fascinating and well put together. All in all, through both of these books, I had one thought that kept circling the back of my mind, and that was Kerr County. In Texas, Kerr County was hit with a huge flood that killed over 100 people, most of them children. I've been wanting to volunteer there, but so much time had passed I didn't know if they still needed me. But these books inspired me to look again, and I found Trees, Texas Recovery for Ecological and Environmental Stability, an initiative by the San Antonio Botanical Gardens with the mission to restore 50,000 native trees along the Guadalupe River in Kerr County. So we're heading over there to learn more. Our day started out really early. This nature center is so pretty and impressive. We were ushered into a little conference room where these experts explained the process they were planning, which included gathering and sorting, and then storing the native tree seeds in a very organized, scientific way. They were very adamant that the local community be the ones to do this part of the job, as they needed reliable and consistent help. So unfortunately, we would not be able to participate in the gathering part, but they assured us we could come back to help plant in the fall, which we will update you on, probably on Instagram when we do. After the talk, we walked down to the river, which this nature center sits just above. Even now, you can still see how powerful the water was. We had a very educational day. I'm so grateful that these environmental scientists and these people can come together this way, and I can't wait to help out when they start planting. If you'd like to donate or sign up to volunteer as well, I'll leave a link to their page in the description.
Yeah, the Trees field trip was really cool. Long but informative. The first book I read for this challenge was Don't Call Us Dead by Denez Smith. I don't read poetry very often, but whenever I do, it feels very meditative. Something about poetry just forces you to read it calmly and intentionally. So yeah, I should probably read poetry more often. But this collection was all about being a Black gay man in America, and all of the grief, fear, and injustice that involves, but also the joy, imagination, and love. You could tell that the author has a distinct lens he's designed to see the world through. There's reference to dirt, blood, rain, names, songs, gods, and boys in each of these poems, and it makes it feel very cohesive. I also liked how each poem was a different type, how some were short and some were long, some repeated, some were lyrical, and some were like lists, and some had words scattered across the page. It just reminded me about how experimental poetry can be with the visuals, and it can give a different sort of expression and feeling that just reading a novel can. Overall, Smith created a collection that is honest and raw, and I highly recommend it to anyone needing some good poetry on their shelf. The second book I got to read for this challenge was Nightmares in the Dream Sanctuary by Donna Kornhaber. This book is now my all-time favorite. I had to put the book down multiple times in order to just process my feelings about it or to stop myself from crying because, oh my god, this book is so good. I loved everything about it. I loved how first she explains the history of animation and how it has always included gore and has been used for many kinds of reasons outside of the propaganda one would usually think about. Each section of the book examines multiple films from all over the world, and it gives a brief background of the conflict it involves and then explains how the film was an act of resistance, a call to pacifism, a reckoning with memory, or a haunting memorial. But my favorite point the author makes is that the medium of animation itself allows the artist to express the unmaking of war that no other medium can capture. The idea that animation is inherently an art form of illogics, and so strangely suited to expressing the concept of war and violence that forces the victim into an illogical place. God, it was so good. I absolutely love this book, and I'm gonna recommend it to anyone even remotely interested in animation. In the end, both of these books reminded me about how powerful art is, how inherently political, empathetic, and important it is. In a broad sense, a country benefits from art as a way of preserving history, but truly the artist benefits. Sharing your lived experience, sharing your stories is a means of survival, and ultimately an act of witness. So I decided for our field trip to literally go bear witness to art through Slam Poetry Night in Austin. We had never been to one of these events before, so we didn't know what to expect, but we were really pleasantly surprised, and it was a lot of fun. The theme for the night was 3-2-1 Slam, where all of the poets got a chance to recite one 3-minute poem. The highest scored poets then got to present a 2-minute poem, and then the 3 finalists got to present a 1-minute poem for a cash prize. We knew none of this when we walked in, but the nice presenter gave 5 audience members scorecards to be the judges, and we ended up being one of them. It was nerve-wracking, but he assured us to just go with our gut and score based on how we felt. All of the poets really felt like a big family, and they were all very supportive of each other. You could tell that they had created a safe space to express their deepest thoughts and feelings, and all of the poems were very personal and very cathartic. In the end, there was a tie for first place that ended up being split between the three men. Very well deserved. They had a special speaker go up as well and present multiple poems. Apparently she's going to represent Texas in a nationwide poetry competition, so good luck to her. There were some of her books and other poets' books on the booth outside, so we did end up buying like one of each. Cool. Didn't need more books, but hey, now we have like more poetry, which we needed. So definitely check out Austin Slam Poetry if you're interested, or just want a cool way to spend an evening out and support local artists.
The slam poetry was such a great idea. I never thought I would have liked it so much. And now we have like 5 new poetry books for ourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Please tag us and let us know if you try this challenge or if you've done something similar. And don't forget to check out the Riverside Nature Center in the description and look into supporting your local poets. Thanks for watching.